Let me ask you a little bit about the war in ISIS. We're going to have Prime Minister Netanyahu. I interviewed him earlier this week. He now sees ISIS as posing a threat to Israel. Do you think we ought to send ground combat troops, if that becomes necessary, into northern Iraq and Syria, if that's what it takes to get these people?
Well, first of all, I don't think we should ever sit back and tell our enemies what we will and will not do. If we need special forces there, is that what the generals say? Then we need to do it. If we engage in a conflict that we know this is a threat to America, we should make it so one-sided that it gets over very quickly. So we should have everything on the table to make sure we win this. And this is a big crisis, and this was not an intelligence failure. This was a lack of action failure on the administration. You know, Fallujah and Ramadi failed 10 months ago. The own former CIA director and Secretary of Defense, Leon Panetta, talks about those actions that the administration knew of this and did not take. So our options are more limited today. Maybe we could have handled this differently. But I think special forces and others are probably going to have to be on the ground, because after those missiles hit and they get out of those Humvees, they repaint their trucks, we got to know where they are, and are the hits being successful?
Should we go directly after Assad's forces, the dictator of Syria?
You know, we have the best trained military in the world. I would listen to them and give them whatever resources they need to make sure our troops are safe, but actually carry this mission out as fast and as lopsided as possible.
And do whatever's necessary, including if that included direct attacks on Assad.
I would lay out the mission to see what the generals say and evaluate from there.
All right, should the House, should the Congress vote on this, take a vote either endorsing or take some other action on this?
Well, the current actions we're taking now, the president has the legal authority to do. If he wants to expand this, it has to come back to the House. And the House, the minute the president asks for authorization, we will debate it and we'll take it up no matter what time he wants to call that, if he does.
Do you think it would pass the House right now? Just a guess?
I see the threat before us. Looking at the chambers, we'll have to see what people debate. I can pick and choose what goes forward, but I'd never second guess the House. Let's have the debate, and let's let the American people actually see what is the goal, though. The president has to lay out a strategy. I don't see that for the American public. What is the goal? What is our foreign doctrine? What is our foreign policy?
What is the policy of Kevin McCarthy? How will the House be different with you as the majority leader than it was with Eric Cantor?
Look, I come from a small town of Bakersfield, California. I grew up with Democrats. I started my first business when I was 19. I learned a valuable lesson as a small business owner. You're the first one to work, last one to leave, and last one to be paid. That entrepreneur spirit has to start America working again. And we need to open this House back up. But most importantly, as I travel, I'll be to 100 districts before this election. The number one thing I hear from the public, can Washington work again? You just see all these failures by the administration, from the rollout of the healthcare website, to the debacle of the VA, to Benghazi, to even the Secret Service can't protect the White House today. And then we have, in the Senate, Harry Reid, who has held up 387 bills that have passed the House, and he won't let him vote on it.
We'll have to end there. Thank you so much,
Thanks for having me.
Hope we'll have you back. And we'll be back in a minute to talk to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.